Look, I'm just going to say it. I've traveled all over Asia. I've walked the neon streets of Seoul, eaten my way through the hawker centers of Singapore, explored the chaotic beauty of Kuala Lumpur, and gotten lost in the organized chaos of Malaysian cities. Each place amazed me in its own way. But then I came to Japan. And honestly, there are things Japan does so differently, so incredibly well, that it made me rethink everything I thought I knew about Asian countries. I'm not saying Japan is perfect. No place is. But there are at least 10 things that Japan absolutely crushes compared to everywhere else I've been. And some of these things shocked me so much, I had to completely change how I travel. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, first up, the trains. I thought Seoul's subway was good. Singapore's MRT is clean and efficient. Malaysia's LIT gets you around. But Japan's train system? It's on another level entirely. I'm talking about trains that arrive exactly on time. Not 1 minute early, not 1 minute late. The Shinkansen bullet train pulls into the station, and the door lines up exactly with the marker on the platform. Every single time. In Tokyo, I could set my watch by the Yamanote line. And here's the crazy part, even during rush hour, when trains are packed with people, there's this unspoken order to everything. People queue in perfect lines. Nobody pushes. Nobody talks loudly on their phone. In Seoul, the subway can get chaotic. In Singapore, it's organized but basic. In Malaysia, you're sometimes waiting 15 minutes wondering if the train is coming. But in Japan, I felt like I was living in the future. And the Junior Pass meant I could travel from Tokyo to Kyoto to Osaka to Hiroshima all on one ticket. Try doing that seamlessly in any other Asian country. Hey, before we continue, if you're enjoying this comparison and want to see more honest travel content about Asia, hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. This is a new channel and your support really helps. Okay, let's get to thing number 2. Here's something wild. I left my wallet on a bench in Ueno Park in Tokyo. Just completely forgot it and walked away. 2 hours later, I realized and ran back, fully expecting it to be gone. It was still there, sitting exactly where I left it, with all my cash and cards inside. I've traveled to Seoul, Singapore, and Kuala Lumpur, and while they are all relatively safe cities, I would never leave my wallet sitting out like that. In Japan, I watched people leave their laptops and bags on cafe tables while they went to the bathroom. Parents let young children ride the subway alone to school. People don't even lock their bicycles in some neighborhoods. Crime is so low that when something does happen, it becomes national news. You know that feeling when you're traveling and you're always kind of looking over your shoulder, being careful. In Japan, that feeling completely disappeared. I stopped clutching my bag. I stopped worrying. And that freedom, that's priceless. Let me tell you about Japanese customer service. It's not just good, it's an art form. I walked into a 7-Eleven in Osaka to buy a rice ball, and the staff member bowed, smiled, thanked me, carefully packaged my item, and bowed again as I left. For a $2 rice ball. In a convenience store. I ate at a small ramen shop in Tokyo where the chef came out to thank me for eating there. I stayed at a business hotel in Kyoto, and the staff remembered my name and preferences after one night. Compare this to Singapore, where service is professional but sometimes feels robotic. Or Malaysia, where service is warm but can be inconsistent. Or even Korea, where service is good but not quite at this level of attention. In Japan, every interaction feels like the person genuinely cares about making your experience perfect. It's not just about being polite, it's about treating every customer with dignity and respect, no matter how small the transaction. Here's something that blew my mind. There are almost no public trash cans in Japan. Like, seriously, you'll walk for blocks and not find one. So you'd think the streets would be dirty, right? Wrong. Japan's streets are cleaner than most people's homes. I'm talking spotless. I walked through Shibuya Crossing during rush hour, thousands of people, and I didn't see a single piece of litter on the ground. In Singapore, cleanliness is achieved through strict laws and heavy fines. In Korea, cities are generally clean but you'll still see trash here and there. In Malaysia, cleanliness varies depending on the area. But in Japan, people just carry their trash with them until they get home. It's a cultural thing. Nobody litters. The subways are immaculate. Public bathrooms are cleaner than some restaurants I've been to in other countries. Even the alleyways behind buildings are clean. This isn't enforced by laws or fines, it's just how people live. And that's incredible. Okay, hear me out, I love Korean barbecue. Malaysian food is incredible and diverse. Singapore's hawker food is legendary. But Japan's food culture is just different. First, the quality. I had an $8 bowl of ramen from a tiny shop near Tokyo Station that was better than $30 meals I've had in other countries. The attention to detail is insane. Every ingredient is selected carefully. Every dish is prepared with precision. Second, the variety. You can eat sushi, ramen, tempura, yakitori, okonomiyaki, takoyaki, wagyu, kaiseki. The list goes on forever. Third, and this is huge, the baseline quality is so high. Even convenience store food is good. Like, actually delicious. I ate an egg sandwich from Family Mart that was better than cafe sandwiches I've paid $10 for elsewhere. In Korea, you'll find amazing food, but it's mostly Korean cuisine. In Singapore and Malaysia, you have great diversity, but quality can be hit or miss. In Japan, it feels like everyone takes food seriously, from the convenience store worker to the Michelin-starred chef. This is where Japan really stands out, the way it balances ultramodern technology with deep tradition. You'll see a Buddhist monk in traditional robes using the latest iPhone. You'll find a 300-year-old temple right next to a futuristic skyscraper. In Kyoto, I stayed in a traditional ryokan with tatami mats and sliding doors, but it had the most high-tech toilet I've ever seen in my life. Heated seat, bidet, music, the works. Korea is very tech-forward, but sometimes it feels like tradition takes a back seat. Singapore is modern but doesn't have as much historical depth. Malaysia has wonderful tradition but isn't quite as technologically advanced. Japan somehow manages to be both incredibly futuristic and deeply traditional at the same time. You can experience a tea ceremony in the morning and visit a robot cafe in the afternoon. And neither experience feels out of place. The level of organization in Japan is almost unbelievable. Everything has a system. Everything has a process. Everything works. At train stations, there are floor markings showing you exactly where to stand so the train doors line up. At restaurants, there are vending machines where you order so there's no confusion. At tourist sites, there are clear signs in multiple languages. Even the recycling system, which is super complicated, somehow works perfectly because everyone follows it. In Korea, things are organized but there's still some chaos. In Singapore, organization sometimes feels too rigid. In Malaysia, things can feel a bit all over the place. But Japan has figured out how to make complex systems work smoothly without making people feel controlled. The efficiency saves time, reduces stress, and just makes everything easier. I never felt confused or lost or frustrated in Japan, because everything is designed to work seamlessly. Here's something subtle but powerful. In Japan, public spaces are quiet. On the train, people whisper or stay silent. In restaurants, conversations are kept low. Even in busy areas, there's no shouting, no loud music from phones, no chaos. Compare this to Seoul, where subways can be noisy and bustling. Or Malaysia, where public spaces are lively and loud. Or even Singapore, where it's quieter than most places but still has some noise. In Japan, there's this unspoken understanding that public space is shared space, and you shouldn't impose on others. People don't talk on their phones on the train. They step outside. People don't eat smelly food in enclosed spaces. People give each other physical space, even in crowded areas. As someone who gets easily overwhelmed by noise and chaos, this was like a breath of fresh air. I could relax in public. I could think. I could exist without feeling bombarded by sensory overload. I need to talk about Japanese convenience stores because they deserve their own category. 7-Eleven, Family Mart, Lawson. These aren't just places to grab a snack. They are life support systems. You can pay bills there. Withdraw money from any bank. Buy fresh, hot food that's actually good. Get concert tickets. Print documents. Ship packages. Use a clean bathroom. And they are everywhere, open 24/7. I relied on Konbini every single day in Japan. In Korea, convenience stores are good but the food isn't quite the same quality. In Singapore, you have 7-Elevens but they are more basic. In Malaysia, convenience stores exist but aren't as comprehensive. Japanese konbini are like having a mini department store, restaurant, and service center all in one tiny shop on every corner. When I got back from Japan, I genuinely missed having this resource available. Here's the final thing, and it's the hardest to describe. There's this sense of mindfulness in Japan that I haven't felt anywhere else. People care about doing things well, not just doing things quickly. The way food is presented, the way gifts are wrapped, the way gardens are maintained, the way people bow when they greet you. Everything feels intentional. Everyone seems to take pride in their work, no matter what that work is. I saw a janitor cleaning a subway station with the same care and precision that an artist might use to create a painting. In Korea, there's energy and speed. In Singapore, there's efficiency and rules. In Malaysia, there's warmth and friendliness. All amazing qualities. But in Japan, there's this deep respect for craftsmanship, for doing things the right way, for caring about details. It makes everything feel more meaningful. And after experiencing it, it's hard not to compare everything else to that standard. So those are my 10 things that Japan does better than South Korea, Malaysia, and Singapore. Now, let me be clear, every country has its strengths. Korea has incredible energy and entertainment. Malaysia has unbeatable diversity and warmth. Singapore has impressive efficiency and multiculturalism. I love all these places for different reasons. But Japan made me slow down. It made me pay attention. It made me appreciate the little things. And in a world that's always rushing, always chasing the next big thing, maybe that's the most valuable lesson of all. If you haven't been to Japan yet, go. And if you have, you already know exactly what I'm talking about. Thanks for watching.